The heir to the throne of the flourishing empire was Charles's thumb. When
The video, the FMV is zoomed in. If the title actually didn't pop up, the framing actually looks pretty good. For the rest of this.
God bless. Same to you. Today's a scorcher. Well, husband, how goes it?
Good. I should get it finished today. Where on earth is Henry? I need him to run some errands.
He was still sleeping when I went out.
At this hour? Blue-blooded idol.
Well, it looks like he was out all evening, drinking like a lord.
Go and get the lazy bones up then. Quick clout round the ear should do it.
Mm-hmm. Henry, get up now. There's work to be done.
Get up or I'll come get you up.
Hear that? You'd better not vex him. Now get up quick. Your breakfast is on the table. Wait, what's this? Have you been... Oh, Henry. How many times have I told you about fighting?
It's nothing. It's just a scratch.
You've been at that sword play again, haven't you? You better pray your father doesn't get to hear of it. You know how he feels about it.
Don't worry, it wasn't that. I just scratched myself is all.
Well, just don't come crying to me if you really do get hurt. Now get up, you rogue.
Oh, Henry.
A fine state you're in this morning. What on earth did you get up to last night?
By means of the first two choices in this dialogue, you will select your character's default characteristics. If you're not satisfied with them, not to worry. All characteristics can be further developed without limitations. That was Viz Bianca, that's Vitality. Because he was fucking her. I was working in the forge. We were chatting in a tavern.
Nothing much. Me and the lads were just having a chat in the tavern. Some wayfarer stopped by. He was telling us what's going on in the world, and well, I lost track of time.
Well, I hope he didn't fill your head with nonsense. Well, I've got a feeling there's something you're not telling me. And it's connected with that scratch on your hand. And that suspicious looking character with a sword who turned up in town recently.
What does it matter?
So I'm learning to sword fight, and what of it? What harm does it do? At least I'll be able to defend myself.
God above, Hal. You know how your father will react when he finds out.
How? What's he gonna do? I'm doing nothing wrong, I just wanted to try it.
On your own head be it then. I can't stop you, and you can deal with your father on your own. Don't come looking to me for help.
Boom. Boom. I'm hungry.
Can I get something to eat?
I left some breakfast on the table. Help yourself.
Did Matthew and Fritz come looking for me?
No, I haven't seen them this morning. They shouldn't be hard to find. They'll be hanging around a tavern somewhere, as usual.
Matthew and Fritz aren't drunkards.
I never said they were, did I? And if I really minded you going for a beer with them, I'd have put a stop to it long ago. I was young once too, you know. And your father was no angel when he was in Cuttenberg.
Of course he wasn't.
You don't believe me? Ask him yourself.
Alright, I will.
You're not a boy anymore, Henry. You're a man, and it's time to start acting like one. Yesterday you promised your father you'd help at the forge. If you made yourself useful now and then, I wouldn't mind your mischief making so much.
Is Father angry with me for sleeping late?
He's not happy. Yesterday you promised him you'd help finish that sword for Sir Radzik. He's not as young as he was. And you know how his joints pain him. He's too proud to complain. And he needs your help, Henry.
I know. Don't worry, Ma. Of course I'll help him.
Good. He always says his knees ache when there's a storm coming. I hope they're wrong this time. It's looking like such a nice day.
Do you need me to do anything, Ma?
Ah, you're a good lad. But I'm fine. It's your father needs helping with that sword.
Boom. Whoa. It's warping too much. Where's the
Pater Noster, qui es in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum, veniat regnum tuum.
where's the Oh, show it. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's much better. That's much better. To eat my food, pick it up in inventory in the tab food, select what you want to eat, and then eat it by holding A. Oh, Henry. Take it off, Henry. Aww. I remember being disappointed too, like first time I played this. It's like, you can't take it all off. Oh, she don't want to talk to me. Can't be done while sitting. What? the way he picks up the apples. It's just so strange. Oh. Lentil soup. Dang, he's taking everything. Is that like
I think we're hungry.
Oh. Well, hold on. Let's just pick up everything if we eat. Yeah, there is a weight limit.
What's the matter with you? Didn't you hear me calling you?
Sometimes you need powers of persuasion to achieve your goals. When talking to people, you can often choose what kind of impression you want to make on them. You can simply use speech, which, however, is influenced by the reputation you have at the moment with the person you're talking to. In the Middle Ages, social status was paramount, so the quality of your attire and how well groomed you are, together with your reputation, can make a big difference to how people respond to you. If you look dangerous, people will be afraid to cross you and will also be more willing to assign risky tasks to you. That's influenced mainly by your strength and the deterrent effect of your weapons and equipment. But other things are also taken into account, such as blood stains on your clothes. You can sometimes rely on money to do the talking for you. You just have to agree on the persuasive sum. Bribing people works in the same way as shopping. See trade and haggling. In special cases, what is that icon? Horse. You can try any other skill, example horsemanship. It's not only the manner of persuasion that's important, but also the specific offer, because sometimes it's not enough to just choose according to your highest characteristics. You have to really read what you're going to say. But different approaches work on different people. You won't intimidate a tough brawler easily, and no matter how well you dress, you won't impress the nobility easily. That's because Henry's abilities aren't simply assigned a universal value, but compared with the abilities of his counterpart. You can see the values of the various abilities in the game under the corresponding icons. You can always see your own abilities. Your counterpart's abilities are visible to you if it's someone you know well, or if you skill at reading people. Learn the perk Empathetic. Speech, charisma, and skill. It's not just about stats though. The outcome is influenced by other factors. Example, your reputation, whether you're dirty or bleeding, etc. Or whether you're horny and your dick is hard and it's showing through your pants. If you can't outdo the nimble tongue of a merchant, for example, you might want to poison him a little first and then he will be easier to persuade. Or if you lead a guard away from his friends, he'll be easier to scare.
Sorry, I had to go and deal with something.
Well, it's no great tragedy. Anyway, we've a lot of work to do today. I'm finishing the sword for Sir Radzik, and I need your help.
With what?
I'm running out of charcoal. Run to the market and buy a bag from the charcoal burner.
I'll need some money then.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Kunesh still owes me for an axe, a hammer, and the nails I sold him a month ago. Not to mention his debt from before. Go and tell him to pay up, at least for the axe and hammer, and then use the money to buy the charcoal.
Kunesh, that drunkard. That'll be fun.
Well, you're a big lad now. I'm sure you can manage. If not, tell him that next time I'll come myself and personally use that hammer to bang those nails into his arse.
Sure, I'll be happy to hear it. Is that all?
Not quite. The Chamberlain at the castle has the crossguard for Sir Radzik's sword, which I had engraved in Sasau.
You want me to go and pick it up? Alright. Money, charcoal, crossguard. Got it.
And ale. Stop off at the tavern on your way home. I know you'll be going there anyway to see that girl of yours. But make sure the ale's still cool from the cellar when you get back.
Her name is Bianca.
Right, so make sure Bianca draws me a nice cool one. Run along now, work won't wait.
What did you actually do in Kuttenberg?
Oh, all sorts. You had to be able to put your hand to anything if you wanted to make a living. But I was never far from iron.
I'd like to see Kuttenberg sometime.
I'll take you there one day, never fear. It's a beautiful city. But in the end you'll learn the best places here by the Sasau. We've kind nobles, fertile land, and plenty of everything.
And do you know Sir Radzik well?
We've known each other long enough.
eh?
Indeed I am, or I'll have nothing to smelt the ore with, and the king won't get his silver.
Which king do you mean, Master Tobias? The one sitting in some godforsaken dungeon, or the one who holds the key to the dungeon?
These are strange times, strange and ill-omened. But since I serve our liege lord Sir Radzik, I think you know the answer.
True, but where will Sir Ratzik take the silver? Hardly to Kuttenberg. Now its citizens bend their knees to Sigismund.
Unfortunately, that's not my problem. Perhaps Sir Radzik is keeping it at the castle until this whole unhappy story reaches its end.
I only hope Sigismund doesn't get an appetite for our silver too.
That makes two of us. But back to business. I'll need 3 wagon loads.
I see your people are working hard. You'll have it tomorrow. Shall we go and drink to the deal?
With pleasure, good man. Welcome, Henry.
Greetings.
In shops, you first have to put your purchases into your basket and then either confirm the purchase, try to haggle. The amount you have to pay is always shown at the top of the screen. We need to get the money from that guy first.
Green sauce because it gives him gut trouble. He can't stand the smell of garlic, hates mustard, and bacon is too common for him.
Oh, I see. That's a nuisance.
Can you think of anything I can do with it?
Look, it's all about the seasoning. Just roast it with a bit of lamb, the same as usual. But add some rosemary and juniper.
Rosemary?
The best thing for hair. I heard it from a traveling merchant. He had it in prawn, and he said it was delicious.
All right, sir. I'll try it. And if he doesn't like it, I'll lock him in the hen coop, so he'll have a proper appetite next time. That'll ruffle his feathers for him.
Maybe you should have done that a long time ago.
You're right there. God bless.
God bless you.
Clothing and fashion. Clothing for villagers and other commoners above all had to be comfortable, durable, and practical. It had to last for years and be worn in all kinds of weather. It generally consisted of simple shirts and tunics. Men also wore linen knickers down to their knees, and in winter they wore hood cloaks, fur jackets, and caps. Wide-brimmed hats protected their heads from the sun, and footwear was simple. Most items were of natural colors without ornamentation. An exception was festival apparel, intended for special celebrations and church holidays. In the towns, clothing held general significance, reflecting status, wealth, and even membership in certain factions, such as tradesmen, soldiers, or apprentices. Accessories included belts, bags, gloves, hats, and other head coverings. Most of the garments in the kingdom come Deliverance based on actual historical records of medieval fashion. Hairstyles. In the 14th to 15th centuries, unwed young women had long hair which they wore down or in braids. Women in town adorned with their hair with ribbons, pearls, wreaths, and vines. Older married women wore pearl nets on their heads, white or colored veils or hats. Fashionable men in the 15th century had long, coiffured hair, and they liked to shave their chins. It's always a good idea to shave your chins. They covered their heads in brim hats, caps, or hoods. Jewelry. In the Middle Ages, jewelry was fashioned from gems, wood, leather, and metals. All gold tended to be worn around the neck and breast rather than on the hand. The most common type of jewelry consisted of earrings and various types of crosses. The most common motifs adorning jewelry were flowers and animals. Figural decoration was often associated with religious themes. Rings were very popular in the High Middle Ages and were worn for both prestige and symbolic meaning. They were either made entirely of metal, mostly bronze, in rare cases silver, platinum, or copper wire, or adorned with precious stones and worn on all fingers. footwear was made of leather, cow, calf, goat, as well as grass, straw, bass fibers, wood, cloth, or felt. In the countryside, people often went barefoot in the summertime. Shoes were originally made from a single piece of material and fitted with straps, soles left and right. On shoes first appeared in the 14th century, while heels were added in the 15th century. The most common type of footwear consisted of sandals that covered the entire sole of the foot, and slippers made of wood or cork. Stitched shoes could be either low or above the ankle. It's a lot of reading. Blacksmithing was one of the most important occupations since earliest times because iron was a very valuable raw material. In earlier times, it was not deep mined, but only acquired from surface mines. Not a piece was allowed to go to waste. People even kept used nails. There was a blacksmith in practically every castle, vicinity, or village who forged almost everything that was needed for agriculture: knives, axes, sickles, plows, hoes, etc. Other blacksmiths specialized in making swords, helmets, lances, harness, fittings, locks, and jewelry. The forge was most often a shed with a wall. Its essentially equipment consisted of large bellows, an anvil, tongs, hammers, punches, files, etc. In a well-equipped forge, the smith could develop heat up to 1400 Celsius.
For the kitchen or the field, my fine wares will brighten your every day.
How do you zoom in? You can't. So where am I? Oh, I missed him. He was back here.
I'll be with you, Henry.
Where the fuck is this guy? Oh, A is the I think A was the, how do I access the class? Left? Right? Up? Buy bank charcoal. Collect that from Kunesh. That's what we need to do first. Okay. Is that him? Kunesh.
God be with you, Kunesh.
What do you want?
Ew.
My father sent me to get the coin you owe him for the axe, hammer, and nails.
I've got nothing. Clear off.
You know you owe father for a lot more than just the axe and hammer. If he went to the bailiff about it, you'd be in deep water. At least pay for the tools if you can't pay for everything.
I told you I have no coin, you bastard. Get the hell out of here, or I'll use the axe on you.
Look, I know things aren't easy. The wife ran off,
Booze is dear these days, and you're as much use as a square wheel. It's no wonder you're short of coin. But a debt's a debt, and I can't leave here without something.
You son of a whore. How dare you speak to me like that? Didn't your thieving father teach you any manners? No? Well, I'll teach you then. Yeah.
Hook, strong, slow hand strike to the head. Jab, direct hand blow to the face. Kick. Kick opponents away. Lock on opponent, switch to the next opponent, unlock. The opponent shows roughly how much health your opponent has left. The more wounded he is, the slower he'll attack and react. When the end is near, he may either try to flee or surrender. I can't identify when you're wounded or if you're bleeding. If you cover yourself badly and your armor is weak, strikes will wound you. Heavy wound will lead to bleeding, and bleeding will lead to death. The more your health is depleted, the lower your maximum stamina. If your opponent's strike hits your armor or you block it, will cost you stamina. When your stamina is completely depleted, you won't be able to defend yourself and will be wounded. Attacking will also deplete your stamina, especially when wielding a heavy sword. Heavy sword. Oh!
Dog see dearie.
How is he able to grapple me like that? Stop trying to grapple me.
Bloody hell. I'm over here.
Oh, I got him good.
Enough! I give up. Take what you want. It's not much, but it's all I have. You understand?
You can see health in the red bar on the lower edge of the screen. The level of health will determine the maximum level of stamina. You usually heal yourself with food and sleep or by relaxing at a bathhouse. This takes a while, so if you need to heal quickly, drink a healing potion. Serious wounds to parts of the body will seriously affect your abilities. You can't run with injured legs. Wielding a sword isn't easy with a broken arm, etc. You can easily see which parts of your body are wounded in the inventory around the portrait of your character. If you're bleeding, you must quickly bandage it or you will bleed out and die. That is why it's always good to have bandages with you, and the more the better, since one bandage may not be enough for a larger wound. You can tie a bandage by going to inventory, going to other tab, find bandage, equip it, and then select the place you're bleeding. And you can't heal during combat.
All right, blacksmith boy, you got the better of me. Take what you want, but you haven't heard the last of this.
Oh, I thought those were gold coins. But why are we taking those things back? Unless those are the only things he has. He seriously doesn't have anything else but those things? Are you serious? He doesn't have anything else. What do you mean find other ways? Find other things. He doesn't have anything else.
All right, blacksmith boy, you got the better of me. Take what you want, but you haven't heard the last.
Come right up and take some home.
Aren't they lovely?
Rakes, spades, forks, and axes. All you need to tame Mother Nature.
What the?
What can I do for you? Mixed goods. God be with you. Machines of every kind. Come on up and buy.
He doesn't want to buy my stuff.
What is your wish?
Wait a moment. I'll look around.
How are you?
There we go. And how do I wait, I thought we can haggle. Oh, there it is.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Aye?
Strong linen, delicate velvet.
Haggling works both ways, whether you want to buy cheap or sell dear. You select the amount you want to get with up and down and confirm with A. The trader will respond to your offer. If the answer is a refusal, he or she will make a counter offer and wait for your response. Simple as that. If the slider can't be moved in one direction or the other, it means either you or the trader doesn't have enough money. Dragging out the haggling with one offer after another will gradually try the trader's patience, and eventually they'll drop the haggling completely. You can see how close you are getting to that point from the trader icon below the bar. The more gold there is in the background, the closer the trader is dropping the haggling. Every unsuccessful bout of haggling lowers your reputation with the trader. Okay. I deserve at least 5.5 gold.
Agree?
It's not worth it to me.
Oh,
You're flaying me here.
We're getting there. Just drop the price a bit more.
5, that is 5.
That's a sum I can live with.
What will it be today?
The FPS in this game is dropping fast. Oh, I can see his face on the left side, and even with all his bushy chin. Oh, earlier when he moved forward. Oh, how many charcoals do we need to buy? A bag of charcoal. 10.
Let's talk about the price.
Naturally.
What about this?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost. All right, son.
I like the merchant system in this game.
Red, long and strong to sew up anything you need. Spades, forks, and axes. All you need to tame Mother Nature.
Go to the sword fighting lesson.
A lovely day to you. Greetings.
You can't be serious, though. Insulting our king.
What insult? I said only the truth. Sigismund has done only what he had to do.
He had to abduct the king. He had to lure his cousin Prokop into a trap and imprison him. He had to invade with his army of Tartars and besiege Gutenberg.
Why not? What is this Wenceslas for a king? The empire is falling asunder in his hands. The German counts elected Ruprecht of the Palatinate as king because your Wenceslas would not go to their deeds even.
German counts. Traitor.
Now even the Pope.
God be with you,
is
Henry.
opposed to your king.
I'm with you, Matthew. What's going on here? Deutsches
I-
What?
and
Just listen and you'll hear for yourself.
Someone has to bring order and reunite the empire.
What do I care about the Austrians? And nowadays, not even the devil himself can keep up with all the popes. Which is the rightful pope? The one in Rome or the one not in Rome?
Do not blaspheme, Alex.
No, it's true though. Wenceslas is the king of Bohemia. Bohemian nobles are on his side. To hell with Rosenberg and his cabal. Sir Radzig is Wenceslas' commander-in-chief. He stayed loyal to the king. And if he heard you talking like this, he would have you whipped like a dog.
Your dear will soon have nothing left to rule. Jobst had to sell Luxembourg to help your king. South Bohemia is with Sigismund
And don't forget about Kudenberg, where Germans like you kissed Sigismund's feet to keep their heads.
Yes, but
Goodman Deutsch, this is pointless. Let us talk of more pleasant things.
My words exactly.
Deutsch has gone too far. Wenceslas is our rightful king.
Deutsch is an idiot. But what can you do? I might have an idea. Deutsch deserves to be taught a lesson. Doesn't he, Fritz?
Tu vois, Matthew. Should give him a proper hiding.
Are you mad? Do you want to end up in the pillory?
Don't listen to Fritz. I've got a better idea. Deutsch was talking such shit, it made me think of that huge pile of manure. You know, the one right next to his freshly whitewashed house.
You think we should redecorate for him? Count me in.
Well, I'd rather torch it, to be honest. But throwing some turds will do.
What do you say, Henry?
But I was going to get ale for father and a few other things. We're finishing Sir Radzig's sword.
Come on. Throwing a few handfuls of manure is not going to take all day.
And it's our duty to defend the honor of our king.
So, how? Are you with us?
The only problem with Henry is it's a little soap patch here. Needs to shave that shit.
Oh well. Father can wait a while.
My words exactly. I knew you wouldn't miss out on all the fun. Let's go.
Albert IV of Habsburg was an Austrian count, son of Albert III, with whom he fought against King Wenceslas IV, beginning in 1394. He also had disputes with Prokop of Luxembourg over Czech-Austrian border. The Pope is the supreme head of the Roman Catholic Church. Jesus Christ is deputy on earth. He cannot be removed from office. His word is regarded by the Church as infallible, equivalent to the effect of the Holy Scriptures. At the time of our game, however, nothing was quite so straightforward, due to the papal schism that lasted from 1378 to 1417. There were for a time as many as 3 rival claimants to the throne of St. Peter. For secular rulers, support for one claimant or the other was often less question of faith than a political convenience. What do they have to say at the time of our game? They could have just said at the current, just mention the year. It's just at the time of our game. That takes you out of the game. It's weird. Wenceslas IV was a none too capable ruler, rather the opposite. During his reign, he was abducted several times in attempts to wrest power from him. The first time in 1394, he was taken captive at one of the residences in Doron near Prague and taken to Wilburg Castle in Austria. The abduction was engineered by the opposing nobility, called the League of the Lords. In 1402, Wenceslas was abducted for a second time by his half-brother Sigismund Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary, who aspired to be the Bohemian throne in support of the high nobility, and incarcerated in Vienna, from where he managed to flee with the help of loyal nobles in November 1403. Sigismund had in the meantime brought in higher taxes on towns and monasteries. Any towns that refused to submit, he conquered and ransacked. The conflict grew into a protracted civil war, in which did not abate even after the death of Wenceslas.
So are we doing this or not?
Wait! We have to check that the coast is clear.
Why? Deutsch is in the tavern.
But maybe you noticed after all these years that he has a wife and a son.
And that's a problem?
Aye, it is. Henry, you gotta lure her away somehow.
Why me?
Because you're the clever one.
Yeah.
Because you're the most attractive one.
What do you want, lad?
I just went by the tavern and your husband was in there talking nonsense. I thought someone should take him home before he gets himself in trouble.
What sort of nonsense?
Well, he kept saying that Sigismund was right and King Wenceslas is a drunkard, that sort of thing. Some people took exception, so I thought...
God almighty, the fool. Next thing he'll start on about the popes.
He might have mentioned the popes too.
Thank you for telling me. I just hope I can catch him before he gets to another fight.
Ew.
What are you waiting for, soldier? Fire the trebuchet! For king and country!
For king and country, my ass. This is all good, clean, fun.
Nearly as good as having that traitor in the pillory. Nearly. Now that would be sweet.
That's for Sigismund!
Woohoo! Eat shit, dodgers.
You bastards! What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Hey, Hans, can't you see? We're decorating your house for you.
It's like your old man was saying in the tavern about that traitor Sigismund. We're just doing what we have to do.
Oh, sons! I'll make those smiles off your faces!
Oh, I'd like to see you try. What are you doing here, Zbigniew? Hanging out with this boxy Deutscher? Maybe you'd like to try out the latest German fashion.
Ah.
Fucker! I'll make you pay for that.
Oh.
Yammer!
For God's sake! Stop right now! The catch pole is on his way!
Run, you cowards! And we better fucking run too.
Stealth. In these harsh times, people are wary of anything out of the ordinary. If you step into someone's house uninvited, for example, they will first warn you that you've no business there. But if you do anything untoward there, they will immediately call for the guard. You'd better not get caught at all in sensitive places like the armory or some noble's chambers. If that happens, there will be no warning at all, and the catchpoles would immediately try to place you under arrest. Only sometimes you will need to sneak into such places unobserved while avoiding conflict. For that, you will need this skill of stealth. Skill alone won't make you invisible, though. If you stand out like a sore thumb, or rattle like Tinker's wagon, you're bound to get caught. You have to take care that no one sees or hears you. To stay out of sight, it helps to crouch, but that in itself is not enough. Crouching in the middle of the town square in broad daylight is more likely to attract attention than to avoid it. To make yourself less noticeable, you should choose appropriate clothing for the situation. Black clothing at night will make you less visible, but in broad daylight will more likely attract suspicion. And of course, you don't want to be heard either. The right footwear will dampen the sound of your footsteps even on a noisy surface, and the less metal elements you have in your attire, the less you will jingle. It's also important to avoid noisy actions, such as breaking a lockpick or starting a dog barking. Your chances of successful stealth can be determined for the stats visibility, conspicuousness, and noise, which depend on the property of individual items of your attire. The lower the value, the better. You'll find these in the table beneath the figure of your character. There's more than one way to skin a cat, of course. If you can get a hold of the outfit of a particular faction, you can skip the stealth altogether and walk away into places where you would otherwise be unwelcome. Very unwelcome. The more items of other factions' attire you have on you, the more inconspicuous you'll be. The most convincing garments are the ones that stand out, such as a tabard or helmet that covers your face.
God be with you, Henry.
Where the fuck are they going? They went this way, right? Oh, did they leave town or not? They're there. That cow has a weird haircut. Meet the lads at Kunesh. It's an interesting place. I guess we could have just waited to do the Kunesh quest until then. He's holding a tablet. Oh.
You're going to dig it out then?
All right, blacksmith boy, you got the better of me. Take what you want.
Oh, we sorted that Deutsch out.
That was pretty close, eh?
That old bastard didn't stand a chance.
True, but I'm worried that fucker Hans will snitch on us.
Well, let him. Then I'll snitch on him. And anyway, what can they do to us for throwing a bit of dung?
Good point. It's not as if anyone really likes the Deutsch.
Who was Johanka? I don't remember Johanka wanting nothing.
Anyway, nice job at the Deutsches. Never a dull moment with you lot.
Where did the third guy go? went this way.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
He has blood on him. Matthias. Okay. I think we're gonna save here. Yeah, game is pretty fun actually. Performance is all over the place though. It's always been like that. Oh, did he just wash himself? Oh no, that's somebody. He's still bloody. Okay. It's probably because I'm trying to ultra wide this shit. Because in playing at higher resolution. Because I think earlier I tried playing it just to check out the performance before I started streaming. I can hit like high 90 FPS. I think at 4K. Just regular 4K. Regular widescreen. Because this does take a lot, because the world is huge, and I'm playing at 1440 times 5000 whatever. Because yeah, going full resolution, frame rate was worse. It was negligible to be honest, but once you get to the square, it's always been like whenever you're here at the square, for some reason, the performance always dipped a little bit. We'll see though, I mean, how bad, if it's like that, like in major towns, mostly crowded areas, maybe just have to display regular widescreen. But so far, it's doable. There are times when it seems a little choppy, but it's doable. Might be choppier on the stream because and the recording because I'm doing streaming and recording and all that. Yeah, I miss my dual PC streaming setup, but maybe we'll get there eventually again. Anyway, thanks for watching.